this is Chantal from the Purring Cat Studio and welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to try and do a very basic video on alcohol inks. I am learning this new medium myself and I thought maybe if we can experiment together, we can learn together. I've seen some amazing videos out there by professional or at least artists that have been doing it for quite a while. And of course I've been inspired. I'm not sure where I will start this lesson. Like I said, I'm learning myself, so I think I will just show you a few things, talk to you about a few tools, and we can look together at some of the reactions and things we can do with alcohol ink, like as far as effects and such. I don't control it very well just yet. So I do have a very small piece of paper. I have more paper, but I like to try and concentrate on doing very, very little things. So that's why I don't want to use too much paper, as it will probably end up in the trash can. I do use both sides, however, so when one side is dry, I can flip it and use my paper. So how about we start with the paper? This is called Yupo paper. I've heard people doing this on photo paper, which actually, hold on, let me grab one, because I just realized I have purchased picture paper because I wanted to print pictures in my color printer. So I've never tried it on picture paper. I can understand why people think it's the same, although it's highly glossy, this one. Maybe you're not supposed to, but I've never tried it on this. So personally, I have just the Tim Holtz Yupo paper. That's what I have, and also much bigger paper that I got on Amazon, I think. Yes, it is still Yupo paper. It's just that the sheets are a lot bigger. I just cut them in smaller pieces. Okay, so I'm going to put this paper away. Whoops. Okay, so how about we start? Because, like I said, I'm very new. I will just tell you what I know so far, and as I progress, you will progress. Or you can also just go right ahead and check, professionals. Okay, let me just adjust the camera here. Okay, so I will put the gloves and my mask, but first I will just tell you which alcohol inks I will use. Again, it is Tim Holtz alcohol inks. I also have this other brand that I purchased a while ago. I don't know which is better. I would not be able to tell you. I don't even know what brand this is. Bria Reese? Is that the name, or? Yes, it is. Bria Reese. Okay. Again, I am not knowledgeable enough. I know that the videos I have seen so far all kind of use this other brand that escaped my mind right now, but if I remember the name, I will let you know. Also, the tools the tools you need, instead of just telling you the things you could use, because you can use, a numerous amount of tools as you get creative and better at this art. Clearly, you need the alcohol inks. You will need Yupo paper. If there's another type of paper you can practice on, good. I don't know if there is any. You will also need isopropyl alcohol. I think they say you need 90% and up. This one is 99%, so it's perfect for this. A tiny little bottle with a tiny little, is it called a nozzle? I think that is good. I also have a syringe. It came with the set of bottles, and the syringe also has as you can see, the same nozzle. Because in the syringe, what I put is alcohol blending solution. Now, I am still new, so I am unsure how different the effects are of both of them. In my mind, so far, from what I can see, is this really does what it says, meaning it blends very well. I find that the colors mix well together when you use this. This, I find, how can I say it, moves it quickly, and dries a little faster, so you have a little less time doing the effect that you want. That's what I think so far. I might be wrong, and along, you know, as we go along, we will find out if, you know, that's the case or not. Okay, so I will put my gloves. Also, you need this. Some of them have said that you needed a straw. The struggle I have with this idea of a straw is you would need your mouth. And I'm wearing a mask. So how am I supposed to blow in a straw with a mask on? No. So I'm using this because I am not taking my mask off with all these fumes around, floating around my face. It is not good for your airways to be breathing in all of that. So from the vapors, right? One thing you can also use, and I've seen one of the people do that, is your gloved fingers, because sometimes you want the ink to go here and then you'll do something else with it. Just do that. Some of them I've seen use just a regular paintbrush to move it around. Some have used this. This is to make splatters, but it's very different than making splatters with let's say acrylic paints on a finished product and you want to add some splatters. It's different with alcohol inks depending if you're doing, because the effects, you'll see. We'll see, we'll play around. So, and you can also use a dryer, although this one I have right here is a little too hot and too powerful. I do have another one that I purchased which has also a cold and a warm setting, but the cold setting is very powerful. The warm setting has low and high. I still don't like it, so I rather just be patient and work with this, but that's just me. And because I'm a beginner, maybe that's why I have very little control yet. So maybe with time I'll have more control. So how about we start? So I'm not sure where I'm going to go with this, but I know there's many different things you can do. Maybe I should have taken a big sheet and make little spots here and there and move the sheet around. I'm trying to see if that's what I'm going to do. Let me see something here. Okay, so instead I decided to cut more pieces. That way if there's another effect or another thing I want to experiment with you, I will do that. So how about I will try on two different pieces, two different things. So first, on one sheet I will put my gloves back on. That's the thing I will put first. I hope you hear me really well with the mask. If I find in editing that the sound of my voice is not great, I will just do voiceover. So I'm using the pitch black and I will put a drop here and let it dry and put one drop here. So while this is drying and moving around, I will push this aside and work with this one, which is still wet. I just want to see the different ways that this reacts when wet. So I will put my camera closer. This is work that you have kind of have to really see what's going on there. So I will use the alcohol. So I will put some alcohol here, and I hope you see that it moves. So I will push the alcohol towards the color just to make sure that it's in there, and then I will push it out. I will have to probably put more, or maybe I didn't put enough ink, but I will push it in, and then I will start pushing the alcohol out like so. And the beauty of this is you will see all kinds of color, because right now I'm sure you can see it on the camera, there's blue in there, although all I've used is black, which is very interesting. Now this is a work of a lot of patience, I find. So I'm pushing it in. I don't think I have enough black to go around to the shape I'm trying to create, like some sort of petal or something, I don't know. But it's okay, because I just want for today, for this first try, I just want you to see what playing with alcohol ink is. So I don't know if you see all the wispy lines here and the softness, and I I know that a lot of artists create amazing things with the alcohol inks. Some are subtle, so some are not. Let me take a paper towel because that's another tool, by the way, that you will need to have nearby, because sometimes there's too much alcohol and you just want to take some off, and then you just keep going. And a lot I find are very subtle, but some of them are not subtle at all, and they create real flowers and butterflies and such. But they also have, a lot of artists will use the same tools, airbrush I think it's called. You can do your nails and painting with that, and of course an airbrush will allow for more precision when you shoot your air, as this thing is not, I mean, it is kind of precise, but since I'm a beginner, an airbrush would have the specific nozzle, the this is kind of, I don't know, this is pretty big. Hold on. This is pretty big of a nozzle, if you will, right? The air coming out is pretty big. Whereas if it was super thin and powerful, I could make straight line pretty much. But we're playing here, we're learning. We're just trying to see what alcohol inks do, how they move, how you control them. And as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of control. But I love how beautiful. Look how mesmerizing this is. Maybe I can put the camera angle differently. Hold on. I just really want you to see. Let me see if that's going to be too close. I'm going to move this. I really want you to see how some of the effects are really soft, and I can see that if you play long enough with your sheet and the dot you made, like all we did was a dot so far, and look at the shape of it right now. This is far from just being a dot. Trying to not block the light when I pass my arm over to reach on the other side to push the ink on the other way, because I could also just turn the paper, but I'm trying to not move things too much for the camera here. So let's just say that this would work better if I wasn't filming, but just for the sake of showing you what this can do. Look at the colors. Oh my goodness, look at that. I think there's too much alcohol here. Now there's a cat hair on my paper. I have to try and not let it bother me, but it does. It bothers me. It absolutely does. Right now I'm looking at it and oh, it's out of the camera frame though. At least it won't annoy you. Oh, okay, more like this, and I will go this way. Now I don't have a precise idea of what I want to do right now. I'm just trying to see if I can kind of control it, kind of make some sort of soft shape. Now I've used the alcohol right now. I will do another one with the other alcohol blending solution, just to see how different. Okay, now I think you're too close for this one. Let me back up the camera. And now it's too far, maybe just like that. There's also the reflection of the liquid, so there's not much I can do there, because if I tilt the sheet, clearly I will be influencing the direction of the pigment, which is not necessarily, that's not what I'm trying to do, at least not this way. So I will push it towards, and then maybe a little more until it reaches. See how the alcohol kind of erases? All I can tell you right now is, even if I'm struggling because I'm new and, if I have something in my head, the alcohol is not doing it, It's not reading my mind. How dare it? How dare it not read my mind? But even with that, for the times where I tried silent, all alone, without you, without the viewers, without the camera, let's say, I have to say it's very calming and meditative, and I don't know, I just, wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, I think that's the word, meditative. It's very calming. You don't really have a choice. You have to be patient. One little, press of this at a time, one little blow of the I don't know if it's called a blower or what the word is, but you kind of have to be patient. You can't rush it. And if you push too much air at once, it will dry faster, and then you have to put more alcohol to move the ink around because now you've dried it. And I don't know what happened here, but I don't like this. So I will try and reblend it and push it around, and it might not work, and that's okay. Like I said, we're just trying to see how things move. See, I like this, I don't like that, so I'm trying to see how I can correct this, and I have a feeling I'm gonna have to pretty much erase this whole part with the alcohol and almost go back in there, because otherwise I'll have this line here. And maybe there's another way, but this lady here does not know how, because I'm learning. And I'm working with my arm around the camera. You don't see that, but yeah, it's not that great. So I'm kind of restarting the whole thing here. Now we're going to push it back. I'm sorry if the table is moving. Like I said, I don't think I have the perfect setup with this. And I only have one camera. And one day, I'm hoping I'll have a better setup, you know? This is actually very interesting. Now, right now, it seems I'm not showing you a whole lot. I kind of got mesmerized by this. I think I'm going to have to move to the other one. Otherwise, that's all you're going to see is me playing around with the same dot of color. Oh my gosh. Ah. So let's try on the dot that's already dried and see how this works. Well, with the alcohol first, and then we'll do the same experiments, meaning one wet and one dry, but with the alcohol blending solution. So here we go. So this was already dry. I let it dry. Now we'll see how it moves. So I'm blowing inside first to grab some of the pigments, and now I'm going to move them around. Now, because I am an untrained eye, I'm not sure, but I think that because this part had time to dry, it doesn't move as quickly. I might be wrong. I may be wrong, but that's the impression I'm getting right now. So let me see. I think I have put too much alcohol everywhere. Now, clearly, you have to let yourself be inspired by, what is going on. Unless you have a specific idea and great control early on in this new medium, then go for it and make your butterflies and your dragonflies or your house or whatever it is that you want to paint with these. I am in the learning stages. So right now I'm just seeing where and how this moves and how I can control it or not. I know so far that for some reason, and I don't want to say harsh lines, but that's the expression I will use, although there are, how can I say, there is a utility or not a utility. How do I say this? Like these lines right here that you see. Some painters create, and there's these lines, and they did it on purpose. That's what they're looking for. And for me, I really like when everything is soft and the gradient goes super soft. But I know that those lines are useful to, I know, if you want to go around a circle or some sort, you want to have the lines that maybe mark it better, show off the outline. Yes, but it seems they bother me because every time I see them, I go around, I mix it, and I blow them away, just like so. But eventually there will be lines because, you can't keep moving the ink around. Eventually there's just not going to be any more ink to move, and my page will be back to white. So, okay, so far I'm unsure, but I think the ink was a little harder. Not harder, but didn't move around as quickly, although I'm not sure I had more control over it than on the other page. So I will put this aside and I will grab, like I said, I will use both sides of these papers as I'm learning, and these unfortunately will probably end up in the trash unless I create something nice. Okay, so now we will switch from the isopropyl alcohol to the alcohol blending solution that I have in my syringe. So this time I will work with another color just for fun. So I will make a dot of sienna right here and let it dry. Oops. The only thing I have to say is I don't like how unprecise see, look at that. I made two. I only wanted one. I am not too impressed with that. There must be a better way to put, because the ink comes out of this pretty quickly and I don't like it one bit, because that is not what I wanted. What if I wanted to do something very, very small in the middle? Now I can't, because this is already everywhere. So unless there's something I don't know, maybe a paint distributor, like a nozzle that you can fit on these bottles, or put these. Maybe I should have put this in a syringe, but I don't have gazillions of them, so I would have to have one for each color, or I'm just not great at it yet. Whatever it is, I don't like it. Okay, let's just work with this blending solution and see how different this is from the alcohol. If there's even a difference, I mean, I'm guessing there is, but I think there is, unless it's because I put too much, which is a possibility. I feel that the color drags longer, whereas if I can take the example of the one we just did, I did replay it. I just play a little bit more with it when I pause the camera to switch the papers. When I put alcohol, it becomes whiter quicker, I find. And this seems to be, I don't know, do you see how much paint it seems there is? I don't know. Is it just because I put too much? Let me try and put a little less on this side. Let's see. Okay, so I really put a tiny, tiny little bit. So I will blow inwards to kind of mix it and then push it out. Well, see, I would have to put just as much as I did for the color to drag. So let me put some here. I'm not sure. I actually don't think I like it too much right now. And I got 2 bottles of this. I'm not sure. There must be a purpose. And I'm fairly certain it is to do what it's doing right now. It's really blending really well instead of the ink pushing against the other color and maybe pushing against the alcohol. It's really just, you know, I made a sound there. Let me grab, you know what? Let me grab the black. No, wait, I want to see that it really mixes. What color would mix with this and we could see another color pop? Maybe this this lake blue. Let me open it first if I can. Yep, just a drop. Let's see if it really blends because of the blending solution. Right now it just sits on top. Okay. I'm gonna do it right here also with alcohol just to see, because now I'm getting really curious of the different usage for the blending solution and the alcohol. Because as I said, we are learning together, and maybe you don't have this medium right now, so you can't experiment on your own, but maybe you'll want to try after this video and you'll say, you know what, let me just go buy a basic few colors, let's say. I find that black and gold are good colors. They make instant beauty, I find. I also got, what's that pink I really love? Flamingo. I'll show you something I did with it. I actually framed it because it's, I don't know how I did it. I tried to do it again, didn't work, but that piece is really beautiful. I clearly see a flower in it and I love it, so I framed it. Just, you know, a little frame, not expensive, just enough. Look at this, it's really strange. I'm not sure what this, we're gonna try it again. I'm going to, instead of doing the dry dot solution, you know, to see, how about we just take the other dots, or dots that I made, because of course I couldn't stop the bottle, and we're going to first put the alcohol ink, then we're going to drop the blue in the middle like I did with the other sheet we just did, and see if the effects are the same. I mean, that's how you learn, right? You just try things. Okay, so see, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, maybe some of you have experimented with alcohol inks before, and you can teach me a few things, and that's okay. I'm always up for learning, but I, first of all, can tell you right away that I much prefer working with the isopropyl, and that's just me. Now, maybe it's because there's a concept or principle of this that I don't understand just yet. Clearly, there's a lot that I don't understand. But for me, I like the subtlety of how the ink moves with the alcohol. I love the fluidity, I think you can call it. And I do love that the color fades as you push it, because that's the effect that I'm trying to get. But the conclusion of what I'm experimenting right now so far, and my conclusions might change if I get more experience, but so far I think that with the blending solution, it does actually what the word says. It really blends. I messed it up because I was going for something. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I was trying to go for something. I'm trying to fix it and retouch it once it's dry. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not like I'm trying to do something, you know, that I'm going to give, but you know, if I'm gonna do spots and stains, I want to try. Okay, let me put a blue spot in the middle, although I don't want to because it doesn't go with what I'm trying to do. Okay, just one blue, and see how it reacts compared to the other sheet that we had. Okay, I can't close the bottle, and it's important that I do, because if I knock this bottle over, I will have blue on my desk forever. Okay, so let's see. I hope you can see that even with the light. See the white here? I think alcohol really just pushes the ink away, but then, you know, you can, of course, play with it. And what it does to me, anyways, I really like how it becomes lighter. I like the idea of that. Whereas on the other piece of paper, I'm trying to push it here. It's hard with gloves. See how it literally blended. So I can see why the alcohol blending solution can be useful if what you're trying to do is not to go lighter, but to really just blend the colors together to do something else. So I think both of them have a use. They really, really do. And look at this effect that I did without even thinking. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Do you see those lines right here in the darker brownish or sienna? Look at that. Do you see? Oh yeah, there. That is amazing. And yeah, this is a lot of fun. Once you the word here is really mesmerizing, because I get completely I don't know, it's like I'm in another world while I'm doing this, because look at it. Oh my God, look. Oh, it's beautiful. Now, if I could just learn how to control it better, I think I could really do something nice. But for now, I'm just moving it around, and I'm just like celebrating as soon as it looks like something. Now, I'm not gonna lie, right now they're pretty much all abstract flowers. Which, you know, it's not far from reality for me, because I love flowers. So it's kind of normal that I would like to that I'm trying to make everything pretty much look like flowers. So hold on, I'm going to move this, and I'm going to show you what I was talking about. Actually, I'm going to show you two things. Hold on, I'm going to go and get it. Okay, so this is the painting I was telling you. Now, of course, you see the reflection of me. I'm trying to move away. But this is the painting I was telling you about that I made, and I thought it was so cute. To me, it's a beautiful abstract flower. I don't know, I just really loved it. I think that I don't know, for the first try of something with alcohol ink, I really, really loved it. I think this was my second try, or third, maybe the third one I tried, and I thought, you know what, this is a flower to me and I love it, so I kept it. Now, the thing is, with alcohol ink, they are alcohol, which means the reason we wear a mask, let me put this back, the reason we wear a mask is because of all the fumes, which means it evaporates. So, like many other media that you work with, afterwards, once you're done, you must put a spray on them to protect them from the light and, of course, the air, in which it will just evaporate otherwise. To show you, this is another try that I did. It's pretty nice. This was after the flower I just showed you, but for some reason I'm new, I'm a beginner, but I'm struggling. And I did put some, I don't know if it was silver or pearl, I think it's pearl. Yeah, I think it's called pearl, what I put in there. So I don't know if I can show you. Hold on, let me move it around. See the white, the pearl, actually. So that's pretty good. It's not ugly. It's actually quite a beautiful piece, but you know, it's not what I wanted to do. And same thing with this one. This one I used, I think, copper with the flamingo color, I think. No, with the sienna, I think. Anyways, so let me show you on this one. I like the blue still. It's not quite there, but I don't want to ruin it for some reason. This I don't mind, so I will show you. So this has been done weeks and weeks ago, many weeks ago, and I did not protect it. and I can reactivate everything and create something else. It's going to move around because it has not been protected yet. And that's why you must spray it. Not because people will go around with an alcohol bottle and spray on your paintings, but it is, it will keep, you know, disappearing over time and the light and evaporate. And you don't want that if you love the work you just did. Like any other painting, actually, you would want to protect it. So, but as you can see, it can easily be reactivated like I just did. And I'm just gonna dry the over. It can be easily reactivated and moved around. Now I'm ruining this because it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to show something. But what I am trying to show with this, however, is when you're trying to work on something, okay, I'm going to throw this out because I will not keep this one. But I might try and do something with this example we were doing earlier with the blue in the middle and the sienna color, because I kind of like this and I would like to maybe form other petals and see where this goes. The same thing with this first try with you, where when I paused the video, I tried to do something here. I'm not disliking this. I might add some gold and rework it. So what I'm trying to say is, because this is something you can work again later, if you feel every time you put some alcohol you're messing it up, that's probably true. So stop, take a breather. And when I say a breather, is outside of the room with the alcohol fumes. Please just get outside or something. But take a breather, just like stop everything, breathe, and try later or the day after or something. But it is reworkable. And like right now, I've stopped my work here, and when I turn off the camera, I will probably keep going with this. And also, just a reminder, sometimes working with a mask is a little bit hard. For me it is. I get warm and I become impatient, and first thing I know is I'm ruining what I was trying to do. So that's another indicator that maybe you need a pause. Just pause and do it, a little more later. So for today, I will end this first try and lesson of let's learn together, because that's what we did today. I think we learned together a little bit. So you've seen the difference between the isopropyl, I have trouble saying that word, isopropyl alcohol, and the alcohol blending solution. I think the blending solution has its reasons to be, clearly. That's why they made it. And I do see that it blends and the color stretches more, meaning that when you blow, when you're with your blower, it doesn't fade as you blow it. It just moves with the blower, which could be very useful if you're not trying to go from dark to light. But if you are trying to go from dark to light, I feel that that's when you use this. And I'm fairly certain you can probably use both in the same painting, depending on what part you're working. So, and also, I feel there is a big advantage for me anyways, as a beginner, to put a few drops and let it dry, and then put your alcohol and start moving your ink around, simply because I feel when I add the alcohol to something that's already liquid, when the ink is very liquid, everything goes everywhere and it's too much. And another thing before I go, I don't know if you've noticed, but all it takes is a single drop, and this color keeps stretching and moving around. I mean, the possibilities of this, wow. I mean, seriously. I know the alcohol inks can be a tiny bit expensive. However, I can see why a bottle must last a very long time, unless you're very addicted to a few colors. And I'm thinking the golds are a color that get used a lot. The black, I don't know so much about the white, but I'm realizing also I don't have any yellow or pure red or a very nice dark blue. So those are the three other colors I need. I will need to purchase a yellow, a very nice blue, darker blue, and a pure red. I think those are the colors I really need. However, I am having a lot of fun with the colors that I do have right now. So if you are interested in trying, don't buy everything. Just buy a few colors. Like I said, a black and a gold will get you a long way, probably. I mean, look at this. This is what black is doing. Can you imagine if I put some gold in the middle and I start playing around? This will be very nice. And you do need this. I don't recommend the straw. I don't know why some people do. I just don't see myself, taking my mask off and blowing with a straw. Maybe for a few seconds. It's not like, but I feel you need to protect your lungs. So for me, it's a no. And of course, the heating tool, but if you have different settings, perfect. I find it very difficult to control. So I will go with the patient way. And I think this is great. I think this is really, really great, a really great tool. I find that I really have more control, and it's very meditative and calming. You cannot rush this. So I hope you've enjoyed this first lesson. I hope I kind of got your curiosity going a little bit. And please leave me a comment and tell me if this is something you would like me to do again very soon, because I'm learning. Therefore, every video I would be making is just me making another step towards this new medium. And we'll see how many videos I can do. I know my channel is mostly junk journals and journals in general and art journaling, but why not take it to another little niche with paintings and alcohol paintings, and watercolor maybe eventually. I do a lot of things. I would like to show you them all if you are interested. So on this, I will say thank you for watching. I give you a great big hug from here in Nova Scotia, Canada. I hope y'all all happy, healthy, and safe, and see you soon. Bye. Bye bye.